Hey everyone, it's Melissa here, and today I'm going to do a review for Girl of the Year 2014, Isabelle Palmer. And I just recently got her, and she's so beautiful. I originally was not planning on getting her, but then through all the pretty catalog photos and member photos and I like her books, and then I think the movie also really did it because I do like that movie. So I eventually, when I went to the store recently, I decided to get her. So, first of all, Isabelle has blonde hair, and she has a deep side part. And then she also has the hazel eyes, which is kind of hard to see, and she has the classic face mold. And her hair is it's nice and straight. And Isabelle also has something that's unique to her, which is a set of highlights. And they come separately, and they hook in through 3 different hooks in her hair. She has like these little ribbon pieces, and then these little plastic hooks on the highlights kind of hook into them. And when you get Isabelle, she does have a hairnet, and her hair comes in these 2 twists, and they just have clear elastics. And Isabelle arrives wearing this coral t-shirt that has a ballerina on it, and the ballerina has a little bit of mesh, and then there are also mesh on the sleeves, and there are pretty sequins that go along on the shirt too. And there's also some silver sparkle accents. And in the stories, Isabelle, in the movie at least, Isabelle finds the shirt at a thrift store, and she basically adds the accents to it because she loves to design, and so she loves upcycling too. And the shirt has a tag that says Isabelle and then underneath that is American Girl. And she's the first Girl of the Year to have a specific tag with her name. So we'll have to see next year if they continue that trend with having the Girl of the Year's name on the tag. And then Isabelle also comes in silver pants. Well, they're more like silver capris. They're kind of like a denim-y material, and they're shiny. They have an elastic waist, and they also have the Isabelle tag on the back. They do not have pockets on them, which is kind of sad because I like pockets. And then they have a nice soft cuff on them, which is like a knit material. And then Isabelle's undies are just coral with light pink. There's no decorations on them. And lastly, she comes with these gold slingback type of shoes. And they have cute little bows on them, and they're very sparkly and very cute. And there's one thing with the hair clip is I'm not really fond of how they did it. I like the idea and concept because I like the magenta, but when her hair is down, it's hard to see them sometimes. Like, you really have to brush them, but it's so easy to have them hidden because unlike in the movie, they don't come down as far enough and they're also very straight, and in order for them to get the magenta all the same color, they just used all the same color hair, and it's like lighter than the rest of her hair, if you can see that. And then if you have the highlights in, and you split her hair in back for a style, it's kind of noticeable. And I found that there are some members that have said that if you kind of do a cross part, then you can kind of hide it, but otherwise it's very noticeable in the back. And I think it's kind of worse than not having the short hairs in the back. But I also, it does not come with Isabelle, but I also bought the bright highlight set for her because I really think that AG should have just done 3 magenta strips, like similar to the bright highlights, only in the Isabelle magenta color, because then it would work with other dolls too, but it would just come with Isabelle. And I think that the strips work better so that you can show the color more, especially when the hair is down. But she has very nice hair to play with. It's long and it's silky and it's just so great. And Isabelle's hair is actually sort of similar. It's a similar wig to, I think, my AG 39, which I do not have, and also is kind of similar to McKenna's and slightly similar to Mia's, so I have them to do a comparison. Okay, so here I have Olive, aka one of my McKenna dolls, and Isabelle, and Misha, aka my Mia doll. So as you can see, their hairs are different colors. McKenna's is a caramel color, similar to Nikki's. Isabelle's is blonde, and Mia's is strawberry blonde. And then Mia's has a little bit more wave to it in the back, as well as she has layers. And McKenna and Isabelle do not have layers, and theirs is straighter. And then McKenna does not have an actual part. She has the kind of hair that has no parts. You can part it in the side, part it in the center, part it on the other side. So that is another difference between her and Isabelle. And I think McKenna's and Isabelle's hair lengths are very similar. And so it might be a variation that you might have one that has slightly longer hair, like it looks like my McKenna's might be slightly longer, but they're very similar. And then Mia's is a little bit shorter, but still very close. And if we turn them around, McKenna has the Josefina mold, and she has blue eyes. As I said before, Isabelle has blonde hair and the hazel eyes, and Mia has strawberry blonde hair and hazel eyes. And I found that my Isabelle's face is wider than my Mia's. My Mia has the thin face. And Mia also has light freckles on her. And I've straightened my Mia's part, because originally, if you get Mia, she has a chunk right here that crosses over in front to this side, and then a braid. But if you want, you can actually move that chunk back over and kind of straighten it so that she does have a straight part. And so, and from the front you can better kind of see the layers in Mia's hair. And then how McKenna and Isabelle's do not have the layering. And so they are all very pretty dolls. And my Isabelle does have darker hazel eyes than Mia, which is both due to varying batches and the years and everything. Look at the light, you can see that Isabelle's is definitely darker and more green, and Mia's has a little bit more yellowish brownish to it. But they are both labeled as hazel and both very pretty. So overall, some people might think that McKenna and Isabelle or Isabelle and Mia are too similar for their collections. However, I didn't think so, and they are all very beautiful, and I think that if you love Isabelle's books, if you love the movie, if you love the doll, she's definitely worth it. And also if you like more color, it's definitely worth it to get either the bright highlights or jewel highlights, or even highlights from Sally's Beauty Supply or online somewhere, because I definitely have my Kaya and Jess who have had highlight strips in their hair since a few years before, at least a few years before AG came out with the bright highlight set. So, but she's definitely worth it. She has great hair to play with. It would be great for younger kids too, because it's nice and straight and simple. The highlights that she comes with are a little bit tricky to get in, so it's better for an older child or an adult to put them in. And they also come really straight, which also makes it a bit it doesn't look as realistic as much, because the rest of her hair kind of has that little wave at the bottom, that little curl, so it does make it look a bit odd that it kind of sticks more straight out, which is also why these highlights don't do that as much, so it looks a little bit more natural. But she is a very beautiful doll, and I highly recommend her. So everyone, if you really love her, don't let her slip by, or if you're on the fence about her, you can always buy her, and if you decide later that you don't want her, you can always resell her or give her to someone else that you know might want her. But I definitely think that if you've been thinking about her, that Isabelle is a great choice, and you really can't, just like with McKenna and Mia, you really can't go wrong with her. So now I will show you some pictures of her in a few various outfits and hairstyles. So enjoy!